Hey College Algebra, so this is going to be your Zombie Apocalypse Part 3. This is going to be for your NTI days 9 and 10. So that's going to be March 30th and March 31st. So what you're going to do is on Friday, on the 27th, you should have came up with ways to stop zombies. So in that video, my son and daughter gave you a few ways to do that. So there was a gun. My son said it dinosaurs to eat zombies, and I changed it to alligators. An axe, and then I came up with a few more. So like hole, rock, slide, fire. But anyways, what it's asking you to do for part 3, it says how many ways did you come up with to kill the zombies? So for me, I came up with 6 ways. So to answer that question for part 3, that's going to be my top answers. I came up with 6 ways. Then I'm going to take that and multiply it by 0.01. So take your however many ways times 0.01. So that gave me here. And then I'm going to take the decay, 73 million. That's the population, okay? So this is going to be very similar to the second part of the zombie project. So what's your starting population? The country's population equation is going to start with your country's population, then 1/2 plus whatever value we got right here. Okay, so for mine, it's going to be 73 million for my made-up country. Yours will be different. And then parentheses, it's 1/2 plus 0.06. And that's going to be raised to the x power. So to do that, I'm going to go to Desmos. So in Desmos, then over here in my equation, okay, so remember you can do the equation. I did 73 million 1/2 plus 0.06 to the x power. And then remember I hit the little gear, and that little gear let me put in the table. Okay, so right here, this little gear, it'll give you that table option, and that's what I've done. So it's going to give you the first few in scientific notation. Don't let that freak you out. You know how to do scientific notation. So 7.3 times 10 to the 7th means you've got to move that decimal 7 places to the right. Okay, so for here, I've kind of got it. So I've got 0, and then it's 7, 3, and then 6 zeros. Okay, because 7.3 times 10 to the 7th means I got to move this decimal 7 places that direction. So that's 1, and then I need 6 more zeros to get that 7. Okay, so that's what that comes out to. Okay, so then I'm going to copy this table down. And listen, you're going to have to copy this entire table. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I jumped at 6. You cannot. So on your graph, on your table, you're going to have to do 7, 8, 9, 10 all the way until 20. Okay? But I started back up at 20 and I kept going until I got to 0. So at day 32, I was at 0.6 of a person. So obviously you can't have 0.6 of a person. The graph, you're going to draw the graph. Okay, so there's mine. It gives me kind of the sketch. But remember, when you're drawing that graph, you're going to have to go up to the 70 me. I'm going to have to go up to 73 million. Up the Y and across the X, I'm going to have to go to pretty much day 32. So it looks like it's going to drop real quick, and then you're going to level off until you get to whatever day. Okay, now the next question that it's going to ask you is at the bottom after you get your table. Again, do not skip values. So 1, 2, 3 all the way until you get to where your Y value is 0 point something. But it says at day what did my country have no more people? So for me, that's going to be day 32 based off of my Desmos. Okay. Why or were your answers from part 2 and part 3 the same day or different? So my day 2, I believe, was at like day 27. And then for this part, my day was 32. So mine were different. Okay, and why do you think that was? So then I'm going to talk about why I think those days were different. But that's what you're going to do. Now, it's going to take you about 2 days because you're going to have to graph it. Okay, so on a piece of paper, make sure you're graphing it and answering those questions and give me good thoughts, good reasons. But for part 3, this should take you 2 days, okay? Because you've got to come up with the equation and the graph, and then you'll have to graph it and answer all that questions. So if you need me, I'm here. But you've got this, and have a great rest of the day.